the PLO, the Palestinian Liberation Organization, created itself from a group of terrorists, and they also wrote and issued what is known as the Palestinian Charter, also referred to as the Palestinian Covenant. During the negotiation at Oslo, Arafat wrote a letter to then Prime Minister Rabin. In this letter, he stated magnificent expressions, language that Israelis had been dreaming about since the day of inception. For example, he recognized Israel as a viable state, legitimate. He said that the Palestinians and Israel would live side by side in peace, and all of the articles of the Charter which were in contradiction to what he has written in this letter are no longer operable. But unfortunately, the last sentence of his letter virtually negated the beauty of his letter. And that last sentence very clearly stated that this letter was going to be presented to the Palestinian National Council for its formal approval. Rabin was so happy to receive that Arafat letter, he didn't even wait. He just wrote in the same, he got the letter, read it, zipped the letter, recognizing that the PLO was the right party to negotiate with. It took approximately 2.5 years for the Palestinian National Council to meet with respect to this subject. Chairman Zanoun of the PNC delivered a speech. And in this speech, he stated that the Judicial Committee voted by a 40-something to 1 vote not to amend the Charter. However, we have to do something because we obligated ourselves to do something. And then the resolution was presented to the members, and this was a 2-clause resolution. Clause 1 referred to Arafat's letter to Rabin and said that any clauses in the Charter which contradict the content of Arafat's letter, we're going to amend. Clause 2 stated that a legal committee would be created and that this committee would redraft the Charter.
كل واحد هنا صدقني مسؤول أكثر منه ومنك. ومن أبو على أكثر ومن مطران. كل واحد هنا مسؤول أكثر منه ومنه وأكثر من أكثر كل واحد هنا مسؤول أكثر من اللي هنا.
من يوافق على هذا المشروع يرفع يده ويبقى رافعا يده إلى أن يتم العد. عدم الحديث أثناء العد.
Well, so it's not an amendment, it is a license to found a new resolution, a new charter.
There is no record
يرفع
that
يده
a legal
ويبقى
committee
رافعا يده إلى أن يتم العمل.
was ever formed, and there is no record
عدم الحديث أثناء
that a
العمل.
redrafting of this charter ever took place. The clauses in this charter stated specifically that the establishment of Israel by the UN was null and void, and that armed resistance was to be utilized until Palestine was liberated, i.e., Israel was destroyed.
النضال 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 والكفاح الكفاح 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 والجهاد الجهاد الجهاد الجهاد
أنا شفتها كنا أقولي
We gave 42% of the land. Did we get 40% of peace? Did we get even 20% of peace? Talking about the formula, land for peace.
From the armistice date of 1949 through December 31st, 1998, the average annual Israeli civilian death from terrorism was 29 per year. From January 1, 1999 through December 31st, 2009, the average Israeli civilian death per year from terrorism was 108. In other words, in the peace years, there were 108 civilian deaths per year versus 29 deaths per year in the non-peace years.
لا تقوم الساعة حتى يقاتل المسلمون اليهود فيقتلهم المسلمون فيختبئ اليهودي وراء الحجر والشجر فينادي الحجر والشجر قائلا يا مسلم يا عبد الله هذا يهودي خلفي تعالى فاقتل.
هو الإسلامي.
حتى الآن لم يصلني تأكيد للإخوة حقيقي تدارس هذا الموضوع، لكن بغض النظر نحن إذا صحت.
All 6 Israeli prime ministers, since the signing of the Oslo Accords, agreed to establish a Palestinian state, myself included. So why has peace not been achieved? Because so far, the Palestinians have been unwilling to accept a Palestinian state if it meant accepting a Jewish state alongside it. You see, our conflict has never been about the establishment of a Palestinian state. It's always been about the existence of the Jewish state. This is what this conflict is about.